This is another one of the older songs that Paul and I started in, I want to say, January of 2013. Maybe a little later than that. I can't exactly remember. But it has stayed almost entirely the same, except that we replaced, obviously we recorded acoustic drums for it. We didn't have real acoustic drums for that before, so that changed some of the drum parts. And we added lyrics and vocals, of course, but it's crazy how much this one was already really solid and just kind of stayed the same through the entire production process.
Which I'm really glad about. I think that one of the things that I appreciated about the production process and adding things is that we really kept ourselves accountable to not like overdo it. And if something was great or we really liked something, not to like kind of overcook it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been an easy thing to do, but I feel like we did a good job of being like, this already sounds great. Like we should, you know, like the things that we didn't change ended up being just as important as the things we changed, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Just purely lyrics-wise, this was one of the ones I was the happiest with how it kind of came together. And we definitely set out to write these songs in, like, to bring truth to the story, but also to be very listenable kind of on a standalone level. And I think this song was one of the ones where I felt like we really combined the story with a good song form really effectively.
It's somewhat relatable, at least, where it's not just like this is a concept album and this is a song and a concept album, where there's more going on, you know, than what's just on the surface, of course, lyrically, but it still feels like this kind of, I don't know, there's this emotional message that's kind of conveyed that doesn't matter that it's part of a concept, you know, if you're completely taken out of that context.
Yeah, which I think is definitely, I remember when we first sat down to talk about doing this, was what we wanted to set out to do, was like somehow combine clearly like doing justice to the story and giving context, but also still having that songwriting element of like, you know, you could listen to this without listening to the rest of the album and be like, oh, like I relate to that song.
Right. I love this part. It's so dynamic. I'm glad we kept that stuff. Like, we kept quiet sections in the album where it can kind of breathe a little bit and let you kind of, like, I feel like it makes the high, loud sections seem so much more powerful, like this.
I love this solo.
Yeah, another classic by Paul. The first of our guitar and synth duels also. This is another section I fought with a lot when it was like mixing time, because there's so much cool stuff happening and I was like, I want all of it to be there, and then ended up having to like carve out quite a bit to make sure that the important part, the, you know, guitar and synth stuff is up front. David Williford on the saxophone here. He was kind enough to lend his skills to us for this song.
Mm-hmm. So tasteful.
This is another one of my favorite choruses for the album too.
I really liked the way that your vocals sound on this chorus. It was like, yeah, couldn't have been anybody else. Sounded really good.
I sat with it a long time. I did many takes to figure out how I was going to sing it, but I think we laid it on a good point.